Oh, amazing. I mean, it's just, this beautiful little thing, Lucy. Oh, it was fabulous. And in fact, we've got a picture of George and Winnie and I all just going, oh.
I know,
she's
your
so
faces
beautiful.
are so adorable
Yeah.
on that photo.
No, it's lovely.
Yeah, it is.
No, she was just so precious. And really a sense of, has this really happened? Because there'd been so much stress and build up to it, and then there she was, and really quite fit and healthy as a baby, wasn't she? But
once we got her blood sugar sorted, she was fine, really, wasn't she?
And a lot, because there was a lot of anticipation that would she be all right? How would she be?
Would she need oxygen and all that?
We didn't know. So, waiting was agony.
Yeah.
But, no, it was fabulous.
So that moment when you met Lucy and your emotions and how precious she was, I think that sort of brings me back to those, like you say, there'd been a lot of stress over the pregnancy. And I've mentioned that on a couple of the episodes, kind of, you can't, as much as I'm a positive person, you can't detract from the fact that there is trauma there from the process of Lucy's diagnosis and things.
Absolutely.
So I'm interested, obviously people have heard it from my point of view. I'm interested to hear from your point of view from that moment of finding out I was pregnant to probably kind of getting through the diagnosis, sort of how you felt.
Yes, well, it was a very, very stressful time for me because Tony was also, he'd been sexually assaulted in his care home. And it was, do we get the police involved? What do we do? And then Laura...
And you didn't want to tell me.
I couldn't tell Laura because there was too much going on.
It would have been the thing that would have probably tipped me over the edge if I'd have known what happened.
So... and I didn't want to, because I hadn't told Laura, I didn't want to tell my son George because it just didn't seem fair to burden him with that. And knowing that Laura didn't know. And there was a lot going on. But at the end of the day, Laura was asking me for her advice. And I knew it wasn't up to me. Whatever happened, whatever I might have thought or anybody in the family might have thought, it was Laura and John's decision what they were going to do when they got this bizarre way of being diagnosed for Lucy, that it was ridiculous, really, what happened in terms of how that came about.
The lack of support.
Oh, it was terrible.
From the community midwife and the doctor who...
Yes. Yeah. So... but the build up to that, before, when Laura was first pregnant, it was, very, very stressful. And I was going on what Laura was telling me, but at the end of the day, it was Laura and John's decision. And ultimately, it was definitely, I think, Laura's decision ultimately. At the end of the day, Laura was going to have to carry Lucy. What complications were going to happen with that, if any? We didn't know. So it was lots of sleepless nights. And Laura, ringing quite regularly. I was already emotionally upset with the whole situation about Dad, and because life goes on.
When I look back, it kind of makes sense because you did seem kind of probably more emotional than I would have expected you to. But it makes sense why now.
Yeah. And I didn't know anything at all about Down syndrome, nothing at all.
Well, same as me. I didn't, did I?
Yeah. So anything I could glean, it was a very difficult time. And the way that I think that it was handled in the specialist saying, well, it wasn't a specialist, it was
one of the consultants from FMU.
Yeah, saying, yes, you've definitely got Down syndrome, because we've been through all that journey of trying to not have the
amniocentesis, CSV,
and
whatever it was.
Or that not coming back positive in enough of whatever needed to be there. you had that twice, and then we had
the NIPT testing.
Yeah, I was so pleased.
Where I just had my bloods done.
Yes.
And it kept coming back.
And I was so pleased when they were fantastic in that clinic, and they said it was quite rare for it not to come back with a positive or negative. And that they quickly rushed you down, got you an appointment at the hospital, and yes, you had to have that needle.
The test, yeah.
Which you were so brave, and you were
but
fine.
I had it the same day.
Fine,
I didn't have to have more sleepless nights.
Exactly. I was worried about Laura's anxiety anyway, and they took us straight in. So that was a big relief for me. And but when it came back and it's like, well, baby definitely has Down syndrome and termination clinics on Wednesday. It's like, oh my God, what a way to deal with it. And even now, when I think about it, my heart goes out to people who don't know at all until baby's born. But we had those emotions in the same way, because we've been building up to this, what was happening, and everything was very positive, can I say? And leaning towards maybe Lucy doesn't have Down syndrome.
Yes, because the nuchal fold measurement was borderline. My bloods were a bit all over the place. The NIPT testing didn't work.
Twice it came back.
So, it was kind of,
Yeah, we didn't know.
It was, but like you say.
So it was a real shock.
Yeah.
And a final thing. And poor Laura, having to make decisions there and then.
So quickly.
Oh, it's terrible.
I had the Easter weekend and that was it.
I came to stay.
Yes. You came up on the Saturday.
And we watched loads of stuff on YouTube, didn't we? And at the end of it was like, well, there's no question here. We're just going to have this baby. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it
Sally
was
Phillips.
It was Sally Phillips documentary had a massive impact.
Yeah.
And also the girl that talked from
the lady
TEDx.
that did the TEDx
talk.
She
was amazing.
Yeah.
And
who has Down syndrome herself. Yeah.
And thanking the professor who'd got her, was it her second or third degree or something?
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, this has just got to happen,
We've
whatever's going on.
Yeah.
We're ready for it now.
Yeah.
That was a weekend.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.